I'm a widow. I've been widowed for 10 years now. So every little bit helps. I work part-time still, even though I've retired twice. Every little bit helps, especially nowadays. I mean, money's very tight. I pretty much live from Social Security check to Social Security. Paying that house payment still and utilities, it gets expensive. People are really struggling nowadays, with the price of foods and gas and everything else.
Coming here kind of helps us offset and where we can, afford more meat, because meat is so high for one, but we can afford more meat. But also with everything that we get here, we make it stretch and last. And it's been a blessing for us.
Unfortunately, the need is back up to and really beyond pandemic levels, and people wonder why, given that the medical piece of the pandemic is over. Well, costs have dramatically risen. I don't need to tell listeners about the cost of groceries in your own grocery store. Pile on top of that the cost of rents, especially with the folks we serve with out-of-state landlords. Those costs going up at the same time. Wages are stagnant. Our folks, they are working, but they just aren't making enough money to cover the expenses that they need. And when that happens, they find themselves in our line. The USDA just came out in the last couple of weeks showing that the need for children and families, households across this country and in our state are dramatically increasing. And so to provide for the people here and now is more and more challenging. But that's not enough. We also have to try to shorten the line, try to help people not have that need going forward. So we've spent a lot of time at Gleaners really trying to figure out what business are we in? What is our North Star, if you will? And one of the things we've realized is that we're really not in the charitable food business. We're in the poverty alleviation business armed with food. Because what we realize is if a family's having trouble with food, it's probably also having trouble putting a roof over its head or keeping the lights on or paying for its medicine. We were very excited this year to restate our purpose, mission, vision, and values. Very mindfully and deliberately, the first part of our purpose statement is united with others to underscore our commitment to collaboration.
This has been an exciting year for community collaborations. And what's gratifying, quite honestly, is that we are aligning with the Empower pillar of the strategic plan. And it's threefold. It outlined a plan. We needed to understand our neighbors' barriers. We needed to identify some community partners. And then thirdly, we wanted to make those connections. One that I'm probably very more endeared with is the one with Gennesaret Free Clinic. There's a void in providing quality health care to people who lack insurance, who are underinsured, who don't have the ability to pay. And what we find with our food insecure neighbors is that they are at a higher risk for some of these chronic health conditions, such as heart disease, diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, and obesity. This past year has been a wonderful year of change for my team especially. We originally had a SNAP team that was very focused on assisting our neighbors with SNAP application. And SNAP is a wonderful program. It's a great federal assistance program. But what we learned from our neighbors is that SNAP does not all of our neighbors can qualify for SNAP. So what do we do with the other bulk of neighbors that still require utility assistance? Needing to be seen by a physician, needing help with their prescription medications, needing connection to mental health resources. So we looked at our team and we recognized that we wanted to improve the overall health and well-being of our community. So we expanded beyond SNAP and we renamed our team the Outreach Team. And the whole purpose of that is really identifying from our neighbors what are those barriers, and we'll help you make those connections within the community.
One of the things I'm most excited about in the upcoming year is our ability to lean into technology to improve access and choice for our neighbors in need so that we can find people where they are, use electronic communication and technology so that people can choose and receive their food where they are without getting to a pantry. And we've had some early success in that and look to scale that so that it'll affect many more Hoosiers who are facing hunger.
We launched Gleaners to Go in 2021 as a pilot program for individuals to order their groceries online to pick up at a location that's convenient to them. So it's similar to ordering online from a grocery store and picking up at the time and the date that you choose. But you're able to do that with food pantry items. So we're really trying to bring that convenience and accessibility to folks who need to visit the food pantry, but maybe they can't make it to the hours that they're open, or they don't have the documents that they need. This program makes it more accessible and brings the food pantry to where they already are.
The Excel Center is a free high school for adults. Being an adult does come with a little bit more barriers than our 15, 16-year-olds, just having to be that provider of the household. So food, housing, transportation, those can be big barriers for our students. Food, access to student success, I think, is everything, right? If we're trying to go back to school and all we're thinking about is where's our next meal coming from, how am I going to afford groceries this week, how am I going to feed my kids, you're not going to have success at school, and it's very unfortunate, but you have to take care of your basic needs before you can focus on, hey, I can get my degree, my diploma. Gleaners is awesome. The Gleaners to go is so helpful. The rollout, the setup has been incredible, and the people at Gleaners have just been so great and helpful.
My name is Hao Vung. I come from Bama. I come 2017, and then I have 2 kids. So we have a happy family. And then last year, my husband passed away, and then I cannot take care of my 2 kids. Our country, I have degree just like computer science, but our country is not good education, not good internet, and then we learn internet on the paper only. I cannot work the full time because I take care of my kids and my mom and dad. I want to proud of mom, just for my kids. I want to be hero for my kids. So that's why I try high school, and then I want graduate. I talk my life experience, so every time I cry. I miss my husband. I work at 20 hours per week. After that, the Gleaners food is perfect for me, and then I need to take care of more time for my family. Very helpful because I need to take care of my mom and dad, so I need to buy medicine every week. So I got Gleaners, and then I keep money, and then I have some money for medicine. Yeah, it's so helpful.
A lot of people ask us where we acquire the food that we are able to provide to our neighbors, and traditionally it's been a third. A third of it's donated from our friends in retail, a third is provided by government, and a third we have to go out and buy in the marketplace. Because the donated food has stayed fairly flat in an environment where the need has dramatically increased, the government provisions are going way down, and even in real numbers compared to the pandemic. The outcome of that is in 2019, we spent $1.9 million to acquire food for our neighbors. This year we'll spend $7.7 million to acquire food for our neighbors because the need is so dramatically increased and our other sources are remaining flat. A little-known weapon in our arsenal against hunger is what we call Fresh Connect Central, which it basically is we are able at Gleaners to provide food to food banks around the country, much like we provide them to food pantries here in central Indiana. That not only helps those food banks as part of our Feeding America system, but it brings up so much fresh food through central Indiana. And we have a most favored nation policy so that the best food stays here with our pantries in the 21 county service area, which I know Hoosiers appreciate. Plus, we make a modest revenue stream from helping food banks outside our service area, which helps folks right here in our service area. To put this in perspective, in fiscal year 2023, Gleaners and Fresh Connect Central distributed more than 99 million meals to our neighbors in need. 47.5 million meals were distributed just through the Gleaners network here in Indiana. 631,000 plus meals were distributed through Gleaners to Go, which nearly doubled what we did the year before. 1.2 million meals were distributed through our home delivery program. We distributed 7.9 million pounds of meat and protein items, 5.7 million pounds of dairy, and over 19.6 million pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables were distributed across our 21 county service area. So at Gleaners, we're really excited about what the next year brings as much as we are excited about the accomplishments that we were able to have over the last year.
One thing that happened this past year is that we really identified that with a drive-through distribution, our outreach team really lacked engaging with our neighbors. So we came up with a pilot project and thought, with Genesteret being here once a week and an unused pantry space, why don't we open it up into sort of this resource room where we can help our neighbors with applying for SNAP, connecting them to other resources. We had Purdue University here providing vaccinations. We found that it was very successful, and now we're on the evolution of the resource room into a resource center. And we have met with architects and construction companies and moving towards really redesigning that unused pantry lobby into a resource center that our neighbors will be able to use.
The people at Gleaners have just been so great and helpful in making sure and ensuring our students get what they need. So just so thankful.
I'm so glad for Gleaners, and this is a good one, and keep going, I want to say.
Thank you very much for all your help and your services that you're doing. It means a lot out here. It really does.